Forests are like giant utilities, recycling air, cleaning water, pollinating crops, and regulating climate. They are vital to life support systems. Our food, our economies, our cities, and our communities, they are all adapted to the climate we currently live in. With a rapid increase in population, the demand of the forest services is at its highest peak. But what if the climate changes too fast for us to keep up? Over the years, Kenyans have developed a great appetite for timber, charcoal, and firewood. This has seen large tracts of forested land being cleared to provide timber for industrial use as well as to provide cooking energy. On the other hand, the growing population continues to exert pressure on existing forested land that are being cleared to open way for new settlements, most of them illegal.
Tulikuta msitu kubwa. Wazee ikafyeka. In 1969 ikakuwa hakuna miti hata moja. Maji alikuwa anapomoa maponde, alikuwa anapomoa njia sababu hakuna mizizi ambayo anaweza kuzuia maji asibebe mchanga.
The fate of the one and only planet we've ever called home is uncertain. It is in everyone's interest to come together to address the challenges we face.
Tukaonelea hii tabu inaingia sisi. Tukaenda kwa kanisa kujifunza watu tupande miti. Miti imemea. Imekuwa msitu ile ya Mungu. Sasa hata udongo ama nini hawezi poromoka.
In Bomet County, the locals and partner organizations in the name of NCCK are coming together to implement ideas on how best to manage their land and protect the environment. Through capacity building trainings, locals have since been taught on land use and planning, and the results are slowly becoming evident. Rivers that were once dry are fast resurfacing, and the indigenous trees that had once been cut are also being allowed to regrow.
Climate change being a cross-cutting issue because it touches nearly to majority of the sectors of the economy. It affects agriculture, it affects environment, it affects energy. Key intervention, first of all, that all the climate change partners who are engaging in is creating awareness through different channels.
Carbon dioxide, methane, and other greenhouse gases occur naturally, trapping heat in the atmosphere and keeping Earth's climate stable. But human activities over the last few centuries have released greenhouse gases at levels that are destabilizing the climate far too quickly for human institutions and the species they rely on to keep up.
When there is destruction in forest, also it affects also the water cycle. The catchment areas, most of them are located within the forest. And we realize that Nyandalo and Laikipia counties are home to so many community members. And this has also spillover effects because when the up catchment areas have been destroyed, there is a lot of conflict, resource-based conflicts downstream, all the way to, going down even to Samburu counties and other counties to the north.
Everyone deserves access to fresh water, but climate change puts that access at risk. A warmer world means that some areas will become too dry, causing prolonged drought. Climate change has caused up to a 50% decline in water availability in many areas, while other areas will be too wet and in other places devastating floods.
Tulipoanza kupanda miti imebadilika. Area ni green, maji imeongezeka, streams zimekuwa na maji. Tunaona maua iko nearly round the year. Kwa sababu ile miti tumebana na ubadiliko wa hewa.
As the project implementation was ongoing, we realized that there is what we call community forest associations. That's where the catchment of the water starts from. It goes all the way to the river. And in the river, we have different sectors. We have the upstream and the downstream. The upstream is where the water flows to all the way towards the downstream. And the members, or what we call the Water Resource Users Associations, came together and formed a network which is called Kaiti Watershed Rural Users Network, CRUN, which was meant to bring members together so that they can be able to share the benefit sharing, what we call benefit sharing of the resources from upstream all the way to the downstream.
Globally led scientists and climate watch groups estimate that by 2050, global demand for water and food will nearly double. Yet the latest research shows that climate change is already disrupting growing seasons in many parts of the world, and the situation will only get worse. But there is still hope.
We sought to intervene in the area of food security using indigenous food crops, which were drought resistant. We picked cassava, we picked millet, and we picked sorghum to work with. And we extended now from Machakos and Kitui to even Makueni County. Families are able to feed themselves. They are able to have surplus to sell and develop themselves.
Kabla tuyapanda mioko kulikuwa tu na matatizo, sababu watu hakuna nini, hakuna chochote, hakuna hata viazi tamu, hatukukuwa tukipanda. Ukiwa una mioko, hakuna njaa inaweza kuingia kwa boma yako hata kitoko, hakuna.
On the flip side, most of Kenya's forest areas are highly threatened by ongoing deforestation. These areas are rich in biodiversity and are critical water catchment areas which supply water for local communities. But even more worrying is the fact that illegal settlers have been clearing land for agriculture, reducing wildlife habitat and destroying forests.
Siku hizi ni nadra sana hata kupata swara. Sijui wamekimbilia wapi, sijui ni jamii wamekuwa wengi. Sasa ndio posa tunasema mazingira ni lazima tuyatunze.
We are supporting the drafting of environmental laws in some of the counties. And we are hoping that those laws, if County X develops those laws, County Y can come in and learn from what County X has done, and have similar laws in their own county in the area of environment.
You have to involve the public because they are the ones who are the custodian. They are even the people who knows what happens on day-to-day basis. They even know who is getting in and who is getting out of the forest or those areas. Many of the bills that have been done, many of the laws and policies that have been done, they have been done in Nairobi. But this is high time, and this is in the spirit of the devolution, to involve the communities there as we do the various policies.
Tree is Life, a local NGO, has been working with the locals under the Changieni Rasilimali facility to slow down the destruction of forests and with it climate change by introducing energy-saving technologies.
Tukaenda kwa mama mmoja ndio tukafunzwa, na tulipofunzwa kulijenga na tukaambiwa vile tutakuwa tunafuga vifaranga. Nikakuja nikasema lazima nitajaribu kujenga kwangu. Kwa hivyo nikajenga, nikaanza kufuga na nikapata vifaranga zinakuwa haraka na hakuna hata hazikufi. Kulingana na zile kuni nilikuwa natumia beleni, nilikuwa natumia mikokoteni 3 kwa miezi 3. Lakini kwa miezi 3 sasa kwa lile jiko ninatumia mkokoteni 1.
As the household reduces pressure and uses less amount of fuel wood, they also can rear their chicken using that brood an income. This is in a way to try and motivate people not to entirely depend on the wood from the forests.
The climate and environmental changes are cross-cutting issues affecting everyone everywhere. In Nyandarua in Central Province, a group of women have come together to do things differently after the land that they had depended on for ages slowly became semi-arid and therefore less productive. The introduction of technologies such as the greenhouses has enabled them get good income from their crops. Matters environment require inclusiveness. Everyone, and despite their ways of life, must be involved in creating a better world. Wundanyi in Taita County at the coast. A forum organized by VSO for the people living with disability is on. This is just one of the many that they have had.
When we came to Wundanyi, there was no link between persons with disability and non-persons with disability. These organizations used to work independently, but when we were able to share with them, they were able to come together, and that integration has been seen among the people in Undanyi, and they are working together to champion for the right of persons with disability. And currently they are participating in a number of policy dialogue at the county level.
So far, so good. There exists best practices in climate mitigation, adaptation and creating resilience. The many lessons learned will go a long way in replicating such efforts widely across Kenya.
Tumepanda miti, tukafanya misitu yetu huku nje na tukapata kuni. Tumefundishwa jinsi ya kufuka nyuki. Nyuki inachukua asali kutoka forest na tunapata manufaa hayo ya kupata asali.